not to say that you couldn't possibly get. My knowledge is more from experience than just having somebody teach me. Okay. And then the guys that I'm gonna send you, they have YouTube channels. They have 3 different fellas, and I like them in the order you're gonna see them. First guy, just a practical Joe, just like me or anybody else, and he had almost like a poor man's approach to raising bees. He was very practical, tried to do things to save money. Okay, because the bee is a commercialized industry. They try to sell all kind of stuff. If you have endless supply of money, well, it's okay, but sometimes maybe you're spending more money than worthwhile. You kind of see. I know the haircutting business is not like that, right? Oh, y'all got a lot of products that y'all sell.
I make my own products.
Oh, you see that? Now you and my wife would get along.
Yeah.
Yeah, she even starting today the stuff you wash your clothes in. I don't know. She's been reading stuff. Everything's harmful to you.
Yep.
So she's trying to go all natural.
Yep.
And then I said, well, what you putting in there, and who's telling you that? I said, you might kill me with something you make it today, you know. But anyway, so you're gonna learn a lot from them guys.
Okay.
Okay, let's say this is full of bees. Okay, so when you're gonna put your frames in here, you see how everybody's touching like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're gonna split. You see there's space left. You're gonna just kind of divide that space on both sides like this. So you got about an equal space here, equal space here, everything touching. Then when you come to getting here, you're gonna take this first frame very slowly, move it over, and then you have one like that.
Yep, I got the.
So that's like a prying tool. You're gonna pick it up. I'm doing it back. You lift this in, catch it with your fingers, come on this side, and you want to go up very, very slowly right here. So you try not to squash any bees when you're taking it out.
Okay.
That helps them get a little agitated if you roughhouse. And then another reason you're doing that, the most valuable thing in that hive is that queen. So you're really trying, you know, if she would happen to be here, you sure don't want to damage your queen, okay? Because she's the hive. If you don't have no queen, you have to make something happen, okay? You up to date on that? You read some stuff on there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I took one beekeeping class at the library.
Oh, okay.
And when I have time that,
okay,
you know, it's available to me, I'll take it, and then I, you know,
Tell
watch
me if I'm boring you
TikToks.
now.
Oh no.
Okay. So, and the hive is capable of requeening. So
Yep.
they had that in the class. Mm-hmm. So in the event you squash that queen, they can make them another queen, or your option is to go buy a queen already mated. When they make their own queen, it's almost 40 days before they start producing brood again.
Yep.
And most of, like this time of the year, if that happens, it's no big deal. But let's say like in March, April, you lose a queen, the honey flow is coming right there. They need their population. So if that queen's gone, she lay 15 to 2,000 eggs, 1,500 to 2,000 eggs a day. You're gonna lose a lot of population with that queen being missing at the optimum time of the year. Okay. Now commercial beekeepers, they're gonna set up their hive, and once everything's right in there and the honey flow starts, they won't never go in that hive again. So you see the big boxes in the back? That's where I get my honey from. Look how tall them boxes are. So you can see back there. But in those boxes, I do the same thing. Once they start making honey, I'm not going to disturb my bees. Well, something happens in there, and I mark my bees and number them, and I know I lose queens, so that tells me that hive swarm. But they got so many bees in there, they still make honey and make another queen, but the process is already underway. Okay. So everything's cool. So anyway, back to this. So you took that first one out. Well, now you have some room right here. Well, now you're gonna slowly take this and move it to the side, and now you can pick it up very carefully. You see, so that's why you created that space. Okay. So now you just can't come. You examine your frame. You put it down here, and then now you have space here. You just calmly moving it over and coming up and down.
So the first one stays out while you're doing all that.
Right.
Okay.
and then you'll learn different little tricks along the way. A lot of times, like me, I'll come in here and I just lightly, because these are going to be glued down with that propolis.
Mhm.
Okay, you got the prong, so I might just come in here, loosen everything like this, slightly pulling everything right here, and then I can move all of this if they're touching, because we can squash that queen. Then I start examining this way, and then I put them back where they belong. You see, if you come this way, but then you got to move everything backwards when you finish. Little trick, you may or may not remember that, okay? But, and then when you put it back in here, you see the way these things are made? Okay, when you're putting it back in, if you bring these two together and go straight down like that, you're pretty much maintaining this space, and this is touching, so you know you can't get your queen in there and squash her. Okay, I have trouble. See, my wife just started learning how to do that this year, and she has a bad habit. She takes this down, drops it, then she pushes it over there. When you push it right there, it's easy to see what could happen. You know? So far, she hadn't done it yet, so that's her little hive right there. But the other day, she couldn't find her queen. I thought she was gonna start crying. I said, "Man, we got a lot of queen." Oh yeah, but I've been having that one. Okay, I think that's pretty much what I got to tell you over here. So, in the hive, you have a choice. You see them two boxes right here? So originally, I was thinking, when somebody calls, I look at my population, which is the biggest one ready to go. So I thought that's who I had for you. So you would have a choice. These, and the one on this side, I almost need to double them. Well, that hive's a little aggressive because they're so packed with bees in there.
Okay.
All right. So my question to you would be, so you can bring that at your house or over there?
Over there.
Over there. So would you rather have heavily populated, or like these right here? They still have a lot of bees, not quite at this level. They're gonna be a little bit more docile to get started.
Let's do docile to get started.
You smart lady.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, you don't want to have a bad experience to get going. And then the bees, I was gonna tell you that story too. In the winter, you know, the population goes way down. So like these 3 boxes, come winter, they can only be in the bottom box.
Okay.
So they basically slow down laying, and their population dwindles because they die at 30 days, right? So she slowed down on her laying a whole lot, and they're not gonna have that many bees to feed all winter long. And that's just designed by nature. In other words, that's their way of being able to maintain a good food supply and make it to the spring, okay? So in the spring, when the nectar starts coming in, well, that triggers the queen to start laying. So, boy, when that food supply come in, well, now she's going to get back to laying 1,500, 2,000 eggs a day. All right, and so at that time of the year, her population's going to increase. Well, what's deceiving to people, you're going to go in that hive. Okay, let's say March, April, May. That's all some new bees, baby bees that were born and all of that, and they don't have honey to protect. They're not as aggressive as once they have honey. So like you see how you dress today, later on when you're gonna have big hives like that, you're gonna have better. I don't wear this suit when I'm taking honey because it's too light. So bees can actually sting through this.
Okay.
And when you go rob their honey, it'd be no difference. I can go visit you. We're okay. If I go to your house and try to take your stuff, you're gonna be a different person. But that's the same way with the bees. So when you go in there to rob their honey and stuff, you say, man, who's them bees for? But you stealing their stuff, and you dismantling everything, taking everything disruptive. So they become very aggressive at that time. But in the earlier part of the year, they're very docile. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have a smoker?
Yes.
All right. This one's made different, but it's the same principle. should have looked. I'm gonna like my wife's because that's gonna be what you have. This one's just a little bit bigger and I could stuff a lot more to make it last longer. Yours is about, I think, like this. So she don't have that removable can in there, right?
Yep.
You use
That's
yours a little bit or no?
I haven't used it yet.
Okay. This thing, when you empty it like this, if you have one like this, it always falls out of there.
Okay.
So when you put it back in, the little feet go towards the bottom to give it space off the bottom. You see
Okay.
them little legs?
Kind of
on
like
there?
your little old Smokies with the.
Yeah, there you go, like your kids. I just gotta use this because I keep flipping it. She got one leg missing on there, but it's still working. Yeah. Everybody has his own way, but if you're able to get like a torch like this, boy, that's the easiest way. You know, I get it going like this, then I stick it in here. You start- I'm not ready to go and survive. I have to start with some sticks. I got that big old torch. What do you have something to put in there to burn?
I have the little pellets
Oh, the
right now,
pellets.
but I got a lot of like wood and
This
leaves
this
and.
is cypress needles. Boy, I love that. That tends to work best for me. And the reason I'm saying that, naturally a fire is always hot, right? And some things you put in there, man, it's more hot. So it aggravates the bees. Not only, you kind of following what I said?
Okay.
So when you light it, you see how it's getting really smoky right there?
Mhm.
Let's see if I might have squashed it myself. Too hard to. You're trying to get that heavy smoke coming up before you shut it off. So it's kind of like it's charballing the bottom of it, you know?
Okay, I'm hearing the bees different now since the smoke is
Oh,
gone.
They say bees even recognize people. You see,
Yeah.
they can recognize me after a while, okay? So now it's ready to go. Then me, I use water a lot. You see, this is just a spray bottle. If I go in there and they come, I'm not even going to use my smoke. What I'm going to do, so we incline, I'll show you these two, but I'll come open, I'm curious. I have a lot more in here just for you to look at.
Okay.
You good? That way you can kind of see the difference. And this, I know I don't have none in here right now, but it's usually sugar water.
Okay.
So when you spray that sugar on them, they start cleaning each other off. It kind of, I think it misdirects them in a sense, right? Now, kind of like what I said. You see, I'm gonna come on this side. Struggling a little bit with my gloves. Let's see if you could grab it. There's something's binding in there. Let me try to get this one. I didn't sleep long last night. I was so worried about all that bombing going on the other end. Okay, so I'm coming out slow like that. Now this frame right here, This is a honey storage, and then you see all the pollen in there, the yellow and stuff.
Yeah.
That's good nutrients, and it's good for them to have.
So that's the new bees right here, right?
No, there's
No.
no bees in this one.
No,
That's
no,
just
no. Like a little egg, like a.
oh, the baby bees
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a little hard. They're more fuzzy though. Usually the older ones, their tails get blacker.
Oh, no, I'm talking about inside the comb, like a larvae.
no, there's no larvae.
Oh, okay.
You seeing nectar.
Okay.
That's shining
that's the
back at
nectar.
you. Yeah,
Right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
This one.
Yeah. So that's the fresh stuff they brought in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So what happens when they bring it in here? Nectar has a certain amount of moisture in it. Okay. Then when it gets below 17% moisture, they cap it. Okay. So this is honey underneath this part right here.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So now I'm gonna go this way, very slowly. See like that. I'm trying to be slow for you. When you're not here, I'm going to town now.
Okay.
Okay, so now this is a frame that has brood on there. You can check your eyes, larvae.
Okay. Now I see it.
Yeah, you
Now I see the
larvae?
difference for sure. Yeah.
Okay, and then when you look in there, when the larvae at about 6 days old, they cap the larvae in there.
Okay.
Okay, the first 3 days they lay the egg. Let's see. I think I'm seeing eggs right here. The egg is not a polka dot. It's a little line like a hyphen.
Mhm.
Can you see that in there? On the background right here?
I kind of yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. I had cataract surgery, so I'm getting used to my new eyes. Okay. Now this side you can see how much more. And this frame hadn't been in there a whole long time, so the colony is working well. They're pretty calm this morning. But see, this one I wasn't too worried about. It was mainly that one right here. So this one, it's almost, when it's totally capped, you call it a capped frame because all the larvae has been capped over, okay?
Mhm.
When a frame is capped on both sides, these are probably hatching out of there. Yeah, because I see some young larvae back in the hole. So this is the second go round on this frame. They've hatched out some young ones, but you'll see a frame, I don't know if we'll get there. When this is totally capped on both sides, when those bees hatch, they need 2 frames to take their place.
Okay.
So I never counted, but they said there's close to 6,000 little holes on both sides. You
Yeah,
see,
that's
so
a-
when they hatch out of there, that's why when you watch in a box, so now you're gonna go home, you're gonna have 5 frames in here, then you're gonna have 5 new frames. When they occupy number 8, it would be time to add a box on there. Okay. Now this year I don't think the population will be detrimental. Do you have extra boxes or no?
Just those 2 right now.
Okay. Maybe
I'm
when
gonna
you
start
can.
working on my top ones.
Huh? Yeah. So this see this is all hatching. So because I see new larvae going back in the hole. All right.
Yeah.
Same thing on this side. When you can see them in the sun, it helps a whole lot.
I see all the little larvae. So that's, you said that's the second round of larvae?
Yeah, because you see, in other words, they're putting back where they hatched before.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When you notice that other frame, the first frame I pulled out with the new stuff on there, that wax was white. So that was the first time that wax got used. Then it gets a little darker as the wax ages, okay?
Did we come across a queen in there
No,
yet?
I'm looking for her. So this is all honey. Surprise. There's some Houdinis. Sometimes, that's why I don't like to use smoke neither, because when you smoke in there, boy, they really go hard in the corners. They get off the frames. Let's go back. She should have a white dot on
Okay, you mark yours.
her. Yeah.
What's that one right there with the black dot?
Where you see a dot. Oh, he just wore
It's just his
himself.
bone.
Yeah, he's an old bee wearing out. You know, you'll see there. The coloration is actually hair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As they get older and they start foraging, that wears off and they become darker. And really old bees, their tail is almost solid black. So they almost done. You saw something?
I'm just looking. Is that the
Okay.
pollen is carrying on the underside of the little
I
yellow?
didn't know. Okay, I didn't notice it. Usually it's a big old piece of pollen.
Yeah, it's like two two sacks on each side. Look like she carrying
Yeah.
some bags of groceries.
Oh, like yesterday. Oh yeah, yesterday. It's still a little early that do, but in a little while they'll be hauling that in big time. You know. Okay, I'm not seeing her here.
Get squished.
Yeah, you heard that little bit. It's hard to feel underneath the gloves, but unfortunately, sometimes that happens. I'm pretty sure I marked on there.
So that I'm gonna be able to hear him talking to me. It sounds like
Oh, they and then later in the day when it gets really hot, the bees will be on the outside. They'll be fanning. You hear a lot of buzz, so they're fanning in there to try to cool off. Let me see if she took this up this one. See, this is where she'd be laying at. Usually, she's where the most of the brooding and laying is going on. Let's see. And really, okay. Let's say somebody like when I come and check my bees, the biggest thing is fascinating to see the queen. Okay, but if I come in here to do just a general maintenance look to see how they're doing, I'm not really worried about seeing the queen. What I'm looking for is eggs and young brood. You see, so if naturally if there's egg and brood in there, you know the queen's in there somewhere.
yeah.
Okay. But naturally, as a new beekeeper, oh, you want to see that queen, right?
I'm just asking because I want to make sure I'm able to identify it
Yeah.
when I do actually see it in
Oh, no,
person
no.
versus
I'm not
pictures.
worried about that. I want you to see it too. When I unload them to sell them, I definitely want to put my eyes on it. I want to know I saw that queen before I close the box down. All right. So she definitely could be anywhere in there right now. So if I had to see, I'd have another box moving the bees to the side. I don't know if you have covers for yours or just that one top one.
Yeah, just the one top.
So-
Is there a different cover that I need?
Well, this is called an inner cover,
Mm-hmm.
and they have this little space right here. So when you put it down like that, it gives them a little bit of breathing room. Kind of helps with the heat. Okay, and then this one I made myself because I'll feed them in the early spring. So this one has a little bit more height. I can put some stuff on here to feed them, and they have room. But right now I won't put it like that because they come build comb up against there. And not so much on these, but the ones with bigger populations. I tell you what, I'm gonna try to open that one if they don't get created yet. Just to let you see the difference. But this one, you see, I still had that one tagged. But we'll still go look at the other. I'm almost sure those are not pretty close to what this one is. See how I had them two bricks up? They're kind of telling me caution. They're how much bees in comparison. Look, when we just open that top right there. And they'll have a lot of bees underneath there. Almost like the bee can't sting this thing. Okay, just give yourself just a little bit of it. One thing too, when you open that, if you can, you don't want to open it right here because you're in front of the bees. So I like to open it this way. You heard them?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see how they building that stuff on there? So when I'm talking about backwards, I can almost tell right now they're gonna be tested. You see how they're coming out of there?
Yeah.
So that's not one I would have wanted you to
Yeah,
have.
no, I don't want that one either.
So they need to be smoked. Them. You could they're bad, but they're not bad. So basically, if I had to get in there, so I take that smoke and just smoke them, and they'll move out the way.
Okay.
And we could leave from this area for a little while.
So we're gonna be loading those in the box, in that box?
Yeah, we can. There's more room out here, so. Yeah. See, they've got a good population. Yeah, I wanted you to at least witness one of the processes. Okay. What you thinking?
I'm gonna show this to my husband. When I show this to my husband.
He's gonna help you with it?
Oh yeah. Hopefully.
He's working today?
Oh yeah. Offshore. He's coming back in today, I believe.
I built houses with man when I was young. But I need to come home every day. I couldn't imagine the offshore life. But I know those guys make good doing that, okay? You see how that kind of pushed it down? So I'm not even going to smoke them right now. You see, to me, they're good enough. Or to get a, all right. If you have time, we'll load this box. And if you want to load the other one, I'll let you do the other one. Okay. So you watch what you think.
That's
You
fine.
be okay with it?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Let's see if this one. I feel like I don't have no switch. You see this right here? Look how much pollen they have in there. Okay, you see all that thing's almost all full of pollen.
Yeah.
And you really like to see that, especially on a new. See, look at both sides. So that those bees are gonna have good nourishment going forward. Okay, so chances are this frame right here I took out of another hive to help these bees. You follow? So this is a new frame. Unlike the other. Same thing. Pay attention.
Oh.
Yeah, good for you. So that's you want to take a picture of it? You want to bring it on here? What you did, and then you have things that go on, and later on you come back, remember that, you know. Oh, that's where it is, the screen. Screen. See, I don't have screen. Mine's all solid bottoms.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of that, but you know, there's just.
Ooh.
Oh, is that a bee I squashed?
Yeah.
I hope it was an old one. And it's gonna happen.
I know, but and I'm gonna react like that every time.
Unfortunately. Yeah, especially there's no bees right here. When you open them things, this is just covered with bees, and when you put that next box on top, you're gonna squash some. You know, I'll deduct it from the price. Okay. What I'm gonna do on the box, I don't have it set up right here, but I'm gonna put some little fasteners on there to keep that from coming apart later on. And you see, when you come to get it, I'm gonna put a board across with a screw on here so the bees can't come up, and then I'll attach this one the same way. Okay. Now you see this box, I'm not a huge fan. You see that thing goes sit right on. They don't give them much room in there. So if you have a lot of bees that pile up on top and you're trying to put your box down, you squash it. So that's what that inner cover does for you.
Okay.
Okay, that's kind of an easy visual to understand, correct?
Yeah.
These bees right here, that's left in here.
Yeah.
Just put it down right here, and they're gonna all.
To go and meet the queen.
They're gonna find it. Do you need a little break before we load the next one?
Oh no, I'm good.
The family that they live on, my great grandfather, that was his land. And so one set of cousins. Oh, the thing's upside down.
Oh, so that's the way it goes. So I had it upside down.
Oh, that's all right. It had you confused, but it's just a different style. And this thing, see, there's a slot in here. You have another piece of wood with that? No. So you can actually close that off. You see this right here? Yeah. So in the wintertime, you don't want to shut it down for the cold air. I have my, the only reason, most of the commercial guys, I don't see that on commercial beehives, okay? And then my thought is, they have the hive beetles and moths. That, to me, that smell attracts me. When it's a solid bottom and all they have is in the front right here, you have less smell. But that's my opinion versus somebody else's opinion. Now they claim this right here is varroa mites. If you've been hearing a little bit about that, yeah, that's that. In the 80s, that tore up the bees. So it was a new little parasite, and I can't see them. Some of the people told me they could see it on the bee, but if you were to imagine, it's just a very small insect, and it almost looks like a crab all the way around. It's got a bunch of pinchers. And then what it does, it grows in the brood. That's where it multiplies at, and then it comes out and attaches itself to the bee. When it's on that brood in there, it's deforming the next population of bees. So it devastated the bee industries in the 80s. A huge amount of the population was destroyed by that. And then it developed ways to treat that. And then I was like that. I didn't want to treat my bees. I wanted to be all natural, you know. And then finally, one of the guys, he'll be on that list by the name, Barnyard Bees is the name of his place in Georgia. Okay. He finally came out and said, this is in 2019. He says, if you don't want to treat your bees, that's your business. But if you don't treat your bees, you will buy a lot of bees. So in other words, and I believe that they occur. Now me, 4 years ago, there's no bee that comes to my house unless it was raised right here. So I don't if you came on the road with 5 highs and stuff, I'll give you that. I said, well, you take your stuff and keep going. So I don't mix my beans with nobody stuff. If it's swarms and all that, I don't do none of that. So everything here was grown in this yard for at least 4 years now. So I've had very, very few mites, but I still treat for mites. Okay. And then the mites later on, drawn brood, I haven't seen nothing to show you yet. That's where they really target to get in there, because the drones are bigger and it gives them more to feed on during that brooding process. Am I giving you too much information?
Oh no,
Are you okay?
I'll be able to go back and recap on it.
Yeah. Well, when you go hear it later on, at least it's something you will hear. Right? Are you curious? Okay, so this is a 5-frame hive. Just come try to pick the weight right here. Just pick it up a little bit closer. You see the handle right there? Okay. So just feel the weight on that. Okay.
That is.
That's 5 now. And that's bees. There's hardly no honey in here.
Wow.
So you can imagine your 10 frames loaded down with honey. Okay. All right. So I'm the spectator this time. You go. Okay. But I'm not gonna let that happen to you. I want you to be comfortable. Oh, you want me to move this closer this way? All right. Hey, just take your time. Look, this is no rush. How's that right there? That's good right there?
That's fine.
Okay. You can even be on this side if you want to. You might sell that, make some money on that video. Hey, you gonna, what's the name of that show? Let me see if I can do that a little bit. Yeah. Try to think of the name of that show where America's Funny Video or something like that. Yeah. As long as it's funny, right?
So we gotta just take this off.
Calmly take that off, yeah. Right. And you can make sure you get that out your feet. If you go put it up against the wall, you don't want to trip on that.
Is this one gonna be stuck a little?
I think I might have moved it lately, so it's probably okay. All right. Same thing, we can put it out there. You can have a little squirt, then you can put some in there too. Right.
I'm using hook side, right?
Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
So does it have any particular order that I'm gonna be moving it from?
No, just let's see what it looks like in there. Everything's tight. Let me unstick it for you just to come here. So you see everything's pretty touchy. I'm gonna just give you a little bit extra room right here. Yeah, now you can get going with it. And you see how this one right here, they had wax stuck to the side?
I'm using this side.
Correct. And you're gonna prime the frame this way like this. Pick up this one here.
I'm crushing some.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you. If you got a little kit, did you get one like this in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's gonna be a big one. So you're gonna use this. First one, I forgot about that. So you just slowly try to go straight up as much as possible. Okay, when you clear it, then you can let one side down on the frame right here. And get rid of this.
Examining these. Are we just going straight in?
That one is full of honey. You start right here. Hold it up to the ground. Put your hand there, put it on the side. Look at the little thing. Now you should be able to work with your other tool for the, there you have it.
Do I need to just pull or just?
There's nothing wrong with that. I can use the other end of it when I get past that point.
Right here?
Like this. So you see, you can work it like this. Watch, you don't have no beans in there. And just pull it till you see.
I'm just picking it up.
You slowly pick it up. So you kind of looking for the green in between now. Yes, and you see all that comb up in here, you have to pull it up to just in the end, open it up so that.
Looks like I can kind of see where the indentations really pick them up.
Just leave that space right here.
Let's see all the, is that the bee pollen or the honey smell?
Yeah, that's probably honey. All that rain too, hopefully you see it like that.
I see her. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Want to use space in between this?
Yeah, just do that. Let's grab it now. Grab it one behind.
In front or back?
You know the queen's here.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. Careful.
Oh, I'm sorry. So since you know the queen's there, pick it at. Make sure she's still in the middle. Then you come to it. Make sure she's here. Yeah, make sure she's in the middle. Not along the edge. She's on there. Okay, so got the light now. Put that against this. Let you see. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we can just we have 6. We gotta put more here. One of them, yeah.
Two more.
Put one at a time. I like the people. So, the same thing.
So do they know which hives to go back to?
Oh yeah.
So they can leave this close to each other.
Later on, if you want to show off to your friends, you see, you pick that comb in your hand right here, and you come stand over here. All the bees are gonna come on.
Wow.
Wherever that smells at, that's where they're going. I've never tried it, so you let me know how it goes.
No, I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This way.
Yes, ma'am.
You said I have to be more careful with this one, right?
Yeah. So if you have a big